Is your dream time constantly being interrupted by your cat? Does your pet have a habit of pawing at you, rubbing up against you, perhaps even meowing in your ear? And hey, we all know that the decision to allow your cat to sleep in your bed is often not an easy one, but if you've given your cat that green light, yet your sleep time is often being interrupted by their overnight activities, you could find yourself at a bit of a crossroads. And as for that touching and waking you up, let's now go through some notable reasons. Let's start with the body heat, your warmth. If your cat is indeed a bit cold or they simply want to snuggle up, they'll do a lot more than just the occasional touch. They could use your body almost like a pillow. This is simply a way for your cat to get warm and keep warm, and hey, you're right there. So don't be too shocked if your cat wants to take advantage of this specific situation. Of course, it's fair to say the interesting part or the problematic part is simply the fact that cats naturally move around a lot. Get up, walk around, and get right back down in the same spot. So during the night, if your cat is using you for warmth, they might move around 24 times just to start that process all over again. Let's now touch on, no pun intended, your pet using you as to what amounts to a high-quality security blanket. One of the reasons why cats choose to be next to their owners is because it helps them to feel more comfortable while they sleep. If your cat needs that safety or feel of comfort and security, they'll use you as a form of protection. During the night, being near you, it's fair to say it probably helps your pet sleep a whole lot better. Of course, on the same hand, this could also lead to a very sleepless night for you. The old trade-off. Sometimes along the cat ownership journey, there'll become times when catering to your pet and doing what they enjoy most could come at a major drawback to you. Playing the role of security guard during the night could keep you very much awake. Those unexpected touches that your cat seeks out and finds comforting, well, they could make that peaceful night anything but. And somewhat like a hand in a glove, the next reason that your cat could touch you when they're sleeping, or when you're sleeping, I should say, it's simply because they want to enjoy that time with you. It's just that simple. I mean, after all, cats don't just nap next to just anyone. There's a heaping, helping serving of trust that comes with a cat being that content, that relaxed, and that vulnerable. If your pet is willing to nap right there next to you, that means that they certainly care a lot about you, and they enjoy and appreciate you for all that you do for them. But for most of all, they absolutely trust you. So it should come as very little and no surprise that a certain level of bonding time would be in order during bedtime, your bedtime. Your cat could be rubbing up against you, not always for warmth, but to merely say hello and just show some affection. And as we move on, because your cat knows that you are that security blanket, the great provider and protector, your pet could be nudging up against you in the middle of the night in an effort just to wake you up. In this case, intentionally wake you up. Your pet could be in need of food, water, or just a plain old petting session. Unfortunately, and this could be the blanket topic over this entire subject, but your cat doesn't know that you have to be in work in the morning, at school in the morning. They don't know that your big presentation is at 8:30 a.m. and right now it's about 2:30 a.m. and you are still searching for dreamland. Sometimes those touches in the night are the most obvious. Your cat wants to be able to use your bed for napping, sure, but sometimes they want you to be awake when they are. And similar in so many ways to displays of affection, if your cat is nudging you during the course of the overnight hours, your pet could be making a midnight attempt to scent mark you. That's right. Your pet is staking their claim, not only claiming you as one of their own, a treasured member of their very own family, but your cat is letting those other pets know, perhaps those other cats that are under your roof, they're letting them know that, hey, this person belongs to me. The one in the bed, they're letting the world know what they found in you. A little scent marking at the midnight hour. And as we near the end of the journey in this video, you just can't talk about feline touching without the topic of kneading. That has to enter the mix somewhere, right? Even a cuddle session on your sofa in the middle of the day at high noon. Your pet is that physically close to you and they have a loving and trusting bond with you, you can almost guarantee that eventually a kneading session will take place. Your arms, perhaps your legs, you know the drill. Your cat is in deep contentment, and that kneading, it reminds them of Mama Cat and their kittenhood, being in that moment of pure bliss. Well, those overnight hours while you're sleeping, or attempting to sleep in this case, that kneading can certainly take place right then and there. You could even wake up to your cat, let's say, kneading on your back and your shoulders. To some degree, it's certainly all part of the charm, right? Those little things that you must come to expect if your cat does sleep in your bed. And last, but certainly not least, let's talk about overall expectations. Right below the surface of this topic question, it's just the simple idea of allowing your cat to sleep near you in the first place. If your pet is touching you while you're sleeping, that certainly means they're sharing the same space with you. And certainly it's easy to assume that if your cat is sleeping in the bed with you, that if that's the nightly routine, that any action during the night has likely just become part of that daily routine or nightly routine. Touching you, rubbing up against you, waking you up for that food and water, even perhaps a play session. If sleeping in the bed is the norm, then these nightly actions, they're likely part of this grander puzzle, let's call it. If your cat is indeed touching you while you're sleeping, so much of it, at least to a mild degree, a mild level, it just has to be expected. I'll conclude things by addressing the elephant in the room. Do you really want your cat in your bedroom in the first place? This topic was taken from the standpoint that your pet has an open invitation, yet they are in fact touching you when you're trying to get your much-needed sleep. However, if your pet is messing with you while you do sleep, and it has not only become annoying, but that invite was never there in the first place, then it becomes imperative that you set up a positive night routine for your cat that doesn't involve them napping in your bed. Not only do you want to make your bedroom off limits, and slowly and surely this will, of course, take some time, but give your cat a nice spot for the overnight hours. Set up a nice napping area, a place that is still within close distance to you, close distance to your bedroom, but also, and more importantly, an area that your pet will enjoy without feeling the desire to revisit your room and sleep in your bed, and essentially start this habit and routine all over again. If you are worried about the touching, but in the bigger picture, concerned about your cat's access to your bedroom, take some cat-friendly measures and perhaps a few trial-and-error nights and establish a new and nightly routine for your pet. If they haven't been sleeping on your bed for very long, for too long, it will naturally be just a bit easier for them to break the habit and spend the night in another positive way that doesn't involve potentially keeping you wide awake. Those all-important waking hours, those petting sessions when your cat is in your lap on the sofa, always make time for those whenever possible. If they do need a brand new overnight routine, make sure your cat is receiving plenty of affection during the day. It could, in means of establishing a brand new routine, it could, in fact, those petting sessions during the day, it could quell your pet's desire for affection and attention during the overnight hours when you are in need of that much treasured sleep. To the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Anything that you'd like to add, any personal stories to share? That comment section, as always, it's all yours. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later.